According to a Forbes report, in 2022, there were 10% of Harvard grads were unemployed after 90 days. In 2025, that number went up to 23%. That's more than double in 3 years. And the reason is why? Why did that number go up? Because if people that are coming from big schools like Harvard are not able to get jobs, then what does that say about what the market is signaling? And before I talk about that a little bit more, we also want to talk about where the world of work is going. So according to the World Economic Forum, who did a report in 2025, and this report covers where the world of work is going between 2026 and 2030. And it has various different scenarios on where it thinks will land in 2030 in a world where we are massively adopting AI on an everyday life at work. And it talks about a lot of things. However, one thing caught my eye. And the thing that caught my eye is that in all 4 scenarios that it reckons will end up in, one of them being, and I don't mean to sound like a fearmonger here, but one of them is potentially a significant job losses. Through that, yes, they do see a case where we will be getting more jobs as well. There will be different jobs that are coming into the marketplace. They are also seeing some job losses that are going to come in. All right, that being aside, there are different scenarios. There are 4 different scenarios. You can go check out the report if you like. And in all of those scenarios, there are some key skills that keep coming up that are going to be useful regardless of the scenario. And that's what I want to talk about here, particularly what remains constant regardless of the change, because change will always come. We know that. So then how do you equip yourself and show up for your work in a way that makes sure that you're taking care of yourself and having that vision of where things are going so that you are positioning yourself in a way that will really benefit you? I'm not predicting anything. However, what I am saying is that we can position ourselves really powerfully for where the world of work is going. So there are 4 skills that the World Economic Forum talks about that are going to be valuable no matter where we land in the next 5 years. One of them is learning velocity, because the world of work is changing so quickly. So we have some of your work is going to be taken off of you. It's going to be done by AI. The roles that are coming up might never existed. So then what does that actually look like, and what are the skills that you would need to keep up with that? So that is learning velocity. So how quickly can you learn? How quickly can you pick up new things? How quickly can you integrate what's coming up into your work? So that's going to be a big one. And inside of learning velocity, I would just add velocity in general. And that's something that I'm really working on. It's like, how can I move very quickly from idea to execution, and also validating my ideas very quickly and finding out which ones are worth pursuing, which ones are not. So, and that's been huge. And things like having mentors around me as well that are supporting me. So that's going to be one of them. So that's learning velocity. And then the next one is judgment and problem solving. So yeah, AI is great, and AI can help you solve the problems. It can be a powerful thought partner depending on how you prompt it and how you interact with it to really point out any blind spots and things like that. However, we still need the human to identify what the right problem is that you're solving for. So that's where it's going to be really coming in. It's like the judgment, the problem solving. Is the problem green or is it blue? If you think the problem is blue and it's green, then you're having some issues around that. And problem solving requires understanding context. So you're the person that people are coming to look for when they need solutions in like various complex situations. And problem solving needs understanding of the different contexts and the situations. So not just being really immersed in not just the tactical elements of how you work, but actually the wider picture. Like what are the problems that are really existing and how do we solve for them? And being the person that people go to for that. And then another one is systems thinking. And you'll hear me saying this over and over and over and over again on this channel. And in terms of systems thinking, you're just understanding, like, if I move this variable here, what else would break over here? And if I add this in here, how does it solve for that problem? It's truly understanding a system of inputs, understanding how they work together inside of a process, and what comes out on the other side of it. So there's a lot of systems thinking that's going to be really important as we go into the age of AI. And how does AI interact inside of those systems as well? So systems thinking is going to be a huge skill to master as we go into the world of working with AI. The other one is going to be tool orchestration. So tool orchestration is understanding, like, what are the tools that we need for the outcomes that we want to achieve, right? So here you're designing the system and you're bringing in the tools tools that are needed. And here it's so important to understand the function of the tool and really understand your processes as well, because there are multiple tools that keep coming up every single day. So then it's understanding, like, do I actually need this? What do I need this for? And is this tool actually needed, or is it just hype? Because there's just so many things that are coming up every single day. Some of it is just hype. Some of it isn't necessarily useful for what you need right now. And sometimes you need the tool, and sometimes you actually just need to go out and do the thing and not spending a lot of time figuring out what the tool is. Okay, so just to recap, the skills that are going to be needed regardless of the outcomes are learning velocity. And here I would also just add pure velocity. How quickly do you go from idea to execution? That in any scenario is extremely valuable. And then the other one is just getting super, super good at your judgment and problem solving. So just getting clear, like, what is the actual constraint? What is the actual problem? What is the actual problem? And then the third one is systems thinking. So here we're just really understanding how information flows from one place to another. What are the inputs that are coming in? What is going on inside the process, and what are the outputs, so that if you have any issues in the constraints of the inputs, if you have any issues around the process, then you understand how it impacts the output. And then number 4 is tool orchestration. So then you are identifying the tools that you need to use to get the outcomes that you're looking for. And here a big thing to think about is it just hype, or is it something that we actually need and is useful for a particular use case? In a world where AI is integrated into our work in a way that it never has before, then we're really thinking about it and considering, well, what skills do you need to learn so that regardless of where this goes, you're properly equipped to handle that work situation. And what that means is that you have skills that compound regardless of the outcome. And if you want to watch a video that I'll share here where I talk about how you go from skills to income, and then from income you go to investing, which means that your money is working for you. However, really the cornerstone of it is really having the skills that can generate the income that you need. And then my question to you is, what skills are you focusing on right now? Which skills are you going to prioritize going forward if you haven't thought about this before? So leave a comment below. I'd be so curious to know. So is it going to be learning velocity? Is it going to be judgment and problem solving? Is it going to be systems thinking for you? Or is it going to be tool orchestration? Well, I hope this video really helped you really think about where the world of work is going and having a little bit of a vision of how do you prepare yourself, how do you position yourself for where world of AI and how we work is moving in the future. All right, if you like this, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.